Hello investors. All right, this week I looked at 149 companies. Only 15 made our list, but guess what? There's 2 new names on the list. That's right, 2 new additions. And of course, Intuit keeps battling it out with, well, let's find out. Hey, if you liked what's going on here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss a single episode, and tell all your friends about it so they can join in the conversation. All right, we're diving right in with Cullen Frost, ticker symbol CFR. Their yield is 3.0%. That's filled with gold because that is greater than the 2.6% benchmark that I use. And this is on a valid price of $95.06, effective 9 August. Now we can see that Cullen Frost does not report cash flow per share. So that's all zero, but they are also not qualified for earnings per share. They are, however, a Div 0, 17 years of increasing dividends per share, no flat years, and at 3%. That's not too bad. Maybe something worth thinking about. Here's what the long-term trends look like. And here's their year-to-year changes. All right, now here's one of the new names on the list, Blackrock. Blackrock is yielding 2.8% on $478.41. Okay, that's a little steep for some folks, but for others, that's just fine. Industrial folks, absolutely. All right, they are not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share, but they are qualified as a Div 1. So you can see they had a flat year here from 08-09. That's why they're a Div 1. Let's take a look at their long-term trend lines. All right, so that's generally on an upward slope. We got a little bit of zigging and zagging here early on, but generally upward. And here's the year-to-year changes. All right, Brown and Brown. I'm thinking of the old beverage companies there. Brown and Brown, ticker BRO. Their yield is 0.9%. Nothing to get terribly excited about. That's on $36.41. Not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share. And they are a Div 1. Div 1, right here you see 10 to 11 flat year, but at a 0.9% yield. That's just not exciting at all. Here is their long-term trend, and here's the year-to-year changes. All right, the next new player on our list is Credit Acceptance, CACC. They do not pay a dividend, and their valid price is $486.95. They're a cash flow 1, so 17 years of increasing cash flow per share, with the exception of this one negative year here in 07, and an E1, 17 years of increasing earnings per share, with the exception of 2006, where they had a negative year. So Credit Acceptance, this might be a play for you for something other than your income portfolio. Now, here's what that looks like on the long-term trend. That's a pretty nice upward slope there. You see 3 distinct changes to the slope. So management's really paying attention there. Here's the long-term trends. Here's the year-to-year changes. All right. Eaton Vance, they've been on our list for a while, ticker EV. Their yield is 3.1% on $45.03. Not qualified for cash flow or earnings, but they are a Div 0. Eaton Vance at 3.1% might be worth looking at. Here's their year-to-year change. Oh man, that's generally an upward slope, but boy, there's a lot of ups and downs going on there. Might be hard for someone to stomach all those changes. And here's the year-to-year. Franklin Resources, ticker BEN, 3.3%. They're also in the financial services. Not qualified for cash flow or earnings, also a div 0. 17 years of increasing dividends per share. Wow, I'm not even sure what to make of this. Generally upward trend, but lots of ups and downs again there. And here's the year-to-year changes. All right, Global Payments, GPN. They do not pay a dividend. $137.36 a share. The only thing they've got going for them is they are a cash flow 1. So that means 17 years of increasing cash flow per share, with the exception of 2016. Not qualified on any other criteria. Here is their long-term trend. Something happened right here. Look at that. You know, we had a nice smooth long rise, and then all of a sudden, bam, something happened there. And here is the year-to-year changes. ANSYS, ANSS, computer software company, they also do not pay a dividend. The share price was $207.80. They're a cash flow 0. 17 years of increasing cash flow per share. Not qualified for earnings, and like we said, they do not pay a dividend. All right, here's their long-term trend lines. Generally upward trend, so looking pretty good there. And here's their year-to-year changes. All right, I promised you Intuit, so here it is. Intuit, INTU, they pay a little bit of a dividend, 0.7%. And that's on $279.62. They are qualified as a cash flow 1 and an earnings 1. So they had 17 years of increasing cash flow and earnings per share, with the exception of these down year in 2015. Now, they did not pay dividends for a while, but when they started paying dividends here in 2012, they've been increasing steadily since. Here's Intuit's long-term trend lines. And here's the year-to-year. All right, now I was teasing you with another big IT name. Here you go, Microsoft in the computer software business. Microsoft paying 1.3%. That's $140.35. They're qualified for a cash flow 1, so 17 years of increasing cash flow, with the exception of 2009. Not qualified for earnings, but they are a div 1. So 17 years of increasing dividends, with the exception of this one flat year here, 09 to 10. But 1.3%, man, you don't buy Microsoft for dividends, all right? You're buying Microsoft for other reasons in your portfolio. Here's their long-term trend. And here's the year-to-year. Well, here's another big name that everybody's familiar with, ADP, Automated Data Processing. ADP dividend yield is 2.1%. That's on a valid price of $165. They are not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share. They are a div 0. 17 years of increasing dividends per share. Now, 2.1% is nothing to get terribly excited about. But, you know, if you want to get into IT services, that area, maybe you're looking at these guys for something other than the dividends, and the dividends just a nice to have. So here's their long-term trend. You can see that they were generally tracking along on this slope, and then all of a sudden, bam, they take off here in 2018 with some nice steep rises. We'll see if that keeps in place moving forward. Here's the year-to-year changes. All right, the next name you may not know, Cognizant Technologies, CTSH. Their yield is only 1.2% on $65.33. They are qualified as a cash flow 1 and an earnings 1. Looks like 2019 isn't shaping up to be a good year for these guys. We'll see how this plays out. It's still in the works. This could change. And they're not qualified for dividends. They don't pay a whole lot, so this is not a dividend play, that's for sure. All right, here's your long-term trend. Ouch. Ouch. All right, here's the year-to-year changes. Fiserv, FISV, I think some folks know these. They do not pay a dividend. $103.91. They are qualified as a cash flow 1 and an earnings 0. So they had a little trouble with cash flow this year. We'll see if they can improve this any. And their earnings are looking real good. So again, this is not an income play, but this may be a play for other areas of your portfolio. Here's that long-term trend. You know, generally speaking, that's not a bad upward curve. And here's the year-to-year. J. Henry and Associates, JKHY. Their yield is only 1.2% on $139.12, but look at this. They are qualified as a cash flow 0, earnings 0, div 0. 17 years of increasing cash flow, earnings, and dividends per share. Good, solid company, good, solid leadership. Definitely something to consider. Not an income play, but for other places in your portfolio. Cash flow, here is the long-term trends. Again, pretty nice upward trends there. And here's the year-to-year changes. SEI Investments, SEIC, their yield is only 1.2% on $60.41. Not qualified for cash flow or earnings, and they're a div 0, 17 years, increasing dividends per share. Here's what their long-term trends look like. Nothing terribly exciting going on there. I mean, you know, it's generally upward slope, but come on, compared to some of the other folks, this is not that great. Here's the year-to-year change. Tyler Technologies, IT services industry, TYL, and they are not paying a dividend here. And I didn't put the valid price in here for some reason, I don't know, but it's $233.26. Let's just go ahead and put that in here right now. Valid price, $233.26. All right, so here, they're qualified as a cash flow 1. Not qualified for earnings, and like we said, they're not paying a dividend. Here is the long-term trend. And here's the year-to-year changes. All right, let's rack and stack them all, see what we got going here. We got, right now you can see not too many big dividend payers here. Cullen Frost at 3%, Eaton Vance at 3.1, Ben Franklin at 3.3, and then coming in here, Blackrock at 2.8. And out of these high number div players, you can see they're doing pretty good. You know, these are div 0 type players. Blackrock at a div 1. So I don't know, I'm thinking in here, if you're looking at a dividend play that's pretty safe and secure, Ben Franklin, Eaton Vance, or Cullen Frost are your plays. You've got your software, your IT folks in here. They're not paying a whole lot, but they're good, solid companies for other reasons, as you can see. So there's a lot to chew on here. I'd like to know what you all think about some of these companies. If you own any of them, why? And what are you thinking about doing with them? I look forward to your comments as the week unfolds. And you have a great week.